We're here at Radio Row in Los Angeles with longtime NBA great, one of my favorite guys from the Best Damn Sports Show, period, as well.
Yes.
John Salley. And what can you tell me about Alkali 88, which is what you're here today with?
Well, it's one of Shaq's companies, and they asked me. They said, "Are you going to come down? We're doing this Wounded Warrior game with Snoop Dogg's foundation, and Shaq's company is sponsoring it. Would you literally come through?" I was like, "Definitely." And then he was like, "Well, what is it going to cost?" And I was like, "Nothing. It's Shaquille. That's why he made you call me, because he knew I wasn't going to charge him." No, and no, it's the serious thing. I've always talked about water. I'm a vegan. I always talked about hydrating. I try to explain to people why I do it. And then when I found out that Shaq was the owner of the company, this is funny because I used to buy it.
Did you?
Now I was like, so when he said it, I was like, "Oh, Shaq invested." He goes, "No, it's Shaq's company." I was so pissed because he probably knew I was buying it too, because he would see me with it everywhere and wouldn't say anything. But yeah, I just started making sure when they said it was going to be Radio Row, I was like, let me come in and talk about it, because I speak from a professional level as a health coach, and it's a really good taste of water.
When did you start getting heavy into, first, when did you go vegan?
1991.
Oh, so you were like before people said, "Hey,
Before
I'm a
it
vegan."
was a style, yeah.
Right.
When it was cardboard and barbecue sauce is when I was eating it. And then, but I was a lying vegetarian. I would still have Thanksgiving dinner. I would have shrimp, lobster, cheese. And in 2006, 2007, I stopped lying. And so for the past 16, 17 years, this is all I've done. 16 years. I've only been into this vegan lifestyle.
How do you think it would have changed when you were playing? Like, do you think you could have done it while you were playing?
Well, I did. So I quit when I was 32 years old. I retired. I thought I had enough money saved. And then I went to Greece. I came back and I said, I'm just going to do TVs and movies, right? I started doing movies, and I got on TV. It's great. And then 3 years goes by, and I go back to the NBA. And the only way of getting back in the NBA is the herb intake. I'm not talking about cannabis yet. I waited till that year was over. But literally, I started taking herbs with this company called New Body, and I'm a vegetarian at the time. I was very focused, knowing that when your baby is born, first thing you do is give it vegetables. Mm-hmm. You don't give it chicken. You know, to make it big and strong, you got to give it spinach and peas and carrots and squash. I knew in order to do that, I needed to take that.
How can I get my toddler to eat vegetables? He does not want to eat vegetables.
Then starve him. There's a way. This is what they used to say in my house. What's for dinner? Whatever I put on the table.
All right, that's
right.
True.
So it's the funniest thing. If a kid won't eat, don't feed them. When they get hungry, if they know it's a vegetable, they will grab it and know exactly what to do to it. Yeah.
All right, good advice. I will have to take that.
Now, if your kid is a toddler and it jumps out of the crib and grabs a chicken, snatches the neck off it, and start eating it raw, maybe you should call somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Best Damn for a second?
Oh, yeah, please.
Because I thought that show, in retrospect, so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And I think it sort of foreshadowed a lot that has gone on with sports media. Like, do you think if that show came out 5 years ago, it would have been different? I mean, it was successful in its time, but I just mean, like, it seems like it's...
It's what everything is now.
Right.
I mean, we got ridiculed. I remember for the Jacksonville Super Bowl, we had to change the name to Best Darn. Like that made a damn difference.
That.
And Stephen A. Smith started with us. Skip started with us.
Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose started with us. Rob Dibble. All of these guys. Crunk. Michael Irvin. That all started at Best Damn. It was like Fox was incubating people and then putting us in the big league. I'm the only one. I'm like Satchel Paige. I was the last one to go over to ESPN. It didn't last long. But I thought the show was, and I always said it too, this guy John Entz, he was executive producer, and then he was working for NBL. I used to say to him, hey, this is the best job we're ever going to have. And he used to go, are you clowning us? I go, bro, you have no idea what I know and see. This is the best job we ever going to have. It was the best.
So the Last Dance, we're now a little bit removed from it, but that was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
You had the unique privilege of going against Michael and playing with Michael Jordan.
Right.
What did you
being on The Last Dance.
and being on The Last Dance, of course.
Yeah.
What did you? Presumably you watched it.
Yes.
What was it like to relive?
One, if we would have known that the Bulls were going through so much turmoil, they would have never won.
Oh, why?
Because if we knew that they were in a squad, that they weren't tight, we would have played on that. It was one thing about Isaiah and Bill Laimbeer and Joe Dumars is they were very, very, very detailed, and they would know exactly what to say, where to pinch, what play to run, at what time. If Michael took a breath, they would go punch him in the stomach. Like, they knew so much that we would have relied on the fact that Scottie and Michael weren't getting along. But you would have never known that. You wouldn't have known that that Michael didn't like Horace. You wouldn't have known that, well, it didn't make a difference about Steve Kerr until later, but you would have never known any of those things. If we knew that we caused them that many nightmares, we would have played on it even more.
Now we would know, right? It would come out in the media.
Yeah, because
the media
guys
world's
now
different.
talk too much.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's a snitch. Guys say too much, and they didn't know how to bite their tongue. We used to call it man up. Don't say anything. He's on your squad. You don't have to like him. And you would know when guys didn't like one another. It'd be a fast break, and if you had the ball and a guy's ahead of you, and you see that guy keep the ball and lay it in to get 2 points, I would only have to see that in the video and go, oh, these two guys hate each other. This is going to be fun.
Where are you? There are a lot of basketball players from 90s, 80s who do not like the congenial nature of the league now. Where are you on that?
I was really good friends. I was good friends with Michael Jordan and Horace Grant. And then during the game, and you don't say anything. After the game, you whatever. But I've always hung out with players, Brian Shaw, Glenn Rice, Charles Barkley. I always hung out with guys on other squads. I really didn't hang out with my teammates because you're around your teammates more than you are your spouse, which is the craziest thing in sports. Is why so many guys get divorced at the end. They said, my roommate doesn't nag me as much as you, woman. I'm out of here. So I that's a funny joke and true. So that is so true. God, I forgot that. Anyway, I think I like it. I like that they realize that you're not supposed to hate your brother man, that this is just a job. But do your job. Now, in football, if you're a defensive back and your best friend is the wide receiver you're going against, that's not a good friend. But, if they're going to sit down and pray together at the end of football games, what's the difference in hanging out with a basketball player at the end of the game?
Yeah.